You haven't subscribed to channel yet? Subscribe now, we have new stories every day. Thanks. It's been about 2 weeks since I found out my wife, Claire, was cheating on me. I had been suspicious for a while. There were lots of red flags, but nothing definite. I decided to confront her, and her reaction was irrational anger. She asked, "How can you accuse me of something like that? I would never cheat." That response made me even more certain she was hiding something. I snooped through her phone and computer but couldn't find anything, so I bought some small cameras and placed them around the house. Then I went to visit some friends over the weekend. I grew up in Minnesota near the Canadian border, and I met Claire when I was 20, and she was 21. She already had a 3-year-old son, Dylan, from a previous relationship when we met. We hit it off right away, and I've been that kid's dad for the last 11 years. I love him like he's my own. We've been married for 6 years, not that it matters now. Long story short, I came home earlier than expected, knowing Claire wouldn't be there, and I watched the footage. Sure enough, there she was with another guy, doing adult things. I recognized him immediately. It was a colleague of hers from work, Andrew. We've been friendly with Andrew and his wife, Michelle, so it stung even more. When I saw the footage, I was seeing red literally. I've never been that angry in my life. I'm usually a mellow guy, but I completely lost it. I hit the walls and kicked the bedroom door so hard it flew off its hinges and smashed the glass table we had in the living room. I bit the inside of my cheek without even realizing it, and when I screamed, I sprayed blood onto the wall and floor. At some point, I hit my head hard enough to snap myself out of it. When I looked at the destruction around me, I knew I had to leave. If Claire had walked in at that moment, I'm convinced I'd be in jail right now, either for domestic violence or worse. I quickly packed a suitcase with essentials and grabbed my laptop for work. I'm a simulation and modeling engineer, and my computer is custom built. I sent a copy of the video to Andrew's wife, Michelle, with a brief message: "Your husband is cheating with my wife." Outside the apartment complex, I ran into Dylan. I hugged him and told him I would always love him, but that his mother had been cheating on me, so I had to leave. I immediately regretted telling him. He shouldn't have been burdened with that, but I wasn't thinking clearly at the time. I tried crossing the border into Canada to stay with family, but due to COVID restrictions, they wouldn't let me cross. Since then, I've been renting a cheap Airbnb, working remotely, but I feel like a zombie. I haven't talked to Claire. The only person I've been in contact with is Dylan. He's been asking questions, and I've been as honest as I can. I told him I don't know what's going to happen next, but that I'm filing for divorce. Since then, I've been trying to find a good lawyer. My phone has been blowing up with hundreds of messages from Claire and her side of the family, but I haven't responded to any of them. My parents are the only ones who know what's going on my side, but I haven't told any friends yet because most of them are mutual friends with Claire. I don't have much support at the moment. I'm scared that if I talk to her or see her again, I'll lose it and do something I can't take back. I also don't want to lose contact with Dylan, but I'm not sure how to even approach that. I'm still boiling with rage, and I have no idea how to get past it. I know I need to respond to Claire eventually, but right now, I'm too angry to be rational. Update 1. I'm doing a little better. I actually visited a cage fighting club just to blow off some steam. To be clear, I don't know how to fight at all. I'm not in great shape either. The few times I've ended up in a fight during my youth, I got my ass kicked. But I explained my situation to the people there, and they were surprisingly kind and eager to help. First, they made me work out for 2 hours, and when that didn't take the edge off my anger, they put me in the ring with an experienced fighter. It was clear he was going easy on me, but even then, I barely gave him a workout. Every time I tried to land a punch or a kick, he easily blocked it. The few times I managed to hit him, he gave me a quick smack back. He was gentle, but it was enough to knock me back down. After every hit, he'd ask if I was okay, and even apologized a few times when he thought he might have hit me too hard. Can you imagine? Apologizing for hitting your opponent in a fight. He didn't see me as a threat at all, which was both humbling and oddly comforting. That little fight helped me a lot. I don't have that burning anger anymore. I'm still pissed, but now it's manageable. I plan to go back for more training and beatings. I still don't trust myself enough to meet Claire in person yet. Update 2. Sorry for the radio silence. Things have been hectic since my last post. I've been calling Dylan twice a day, but it turns out everything isn't as okay as he said. He finally broke down and admitted that things at home have been bad. Claire has been sitting in front of the TV, not eating, and the house is a mess. He hasn't had anything to eat except for some sandwiches a friend's mom made for him. I immediately rushed back home. As soon as I opened the door, the smell hit me. Rotten garbage, dirty dishes, broken glass on the floor. The place was disgusting. I found Dylan first, gave him some food I picked up on the way, and told him everything would be okay. He cried and hugged me, and I promised him I'd never leave him again. Then I went to check on Claire. The sight of her shook me. She looked terrible, skin and bones, her eyes sunken in, dark rings under them, and her hair a tangled mess. She wasn't even aware I was there until I sat down in front of her. She looked at me and asked if I was real. When I said yes, she broke down in a way I'd never seen before, crying and screaming. Then, out of nowhere, she passed out. I rushed her to the hospital, and she's been there ever since. The doctors haven't diagnosed her yet, but it's clear she's not well. For the next sections, continue the story with updates on his interactions with his son, legal matters, and emotional recovery, keeping the flow consistent with the earlier parts. This is a lengthy and personal journey, and I hope sharing it will help others in similar situations. If you'd like to stay updated, consider subscribing. And to good morning, and in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.